All right, big news today. Miss California USA Carrie Fired has lost her crown. Remember a month ago, Donald Trump made the huge announcement she was going to keep her crown. So what has happened since? Let's bring in our Prime News correspondent, Michelle Carey. Michelle, what happened here? Get us up to speed. A lot of twists and turns here.
It so depends on who you talk to, Mike. You know, the state pageant spokesperson says the decision is based on contract violations, not her political views. Now, of course, you remember at the Miss USA pageant back in April, Carrie Fired said she believed marriage should be between a man and a woman. Huge controversy. Then the topless photos of her surfaced online. Yet last month, Donald Trump said that he would let her keep her title. It seemed like everybody made up. But now pageant officials say it has become abundantly clear that Carrie is unwilling to fulfill her obligations under our contract and work together. Obviously, I'm quoting there. Fired's attorney says this, another quote, "This is all kind of a big shock. She's been doing all these speaking engagements that she has been asked to do. It is not true that she has not been cooperating." So kind of dueling statements there. Depends on who you talk to,
A real back and forth. Okay, we're going to dig a little deeper. Michelle, thanks for that. And joining us now to talk about it, welcome back Alicia Jacobs, entertainment reporter for KVBC in Las Vegas, one of the judges as well for the 2009 Miss USA pageant. Alicia, welcome back. Also with us, Marvette Brito, a PR and brand strategist, a celebrity publicist. We're going to be talking to TMZ. They spoke to Carrie. And also joining us, Carrie's pastor, Miles McPherson. He's president of Miles Ahead Ministries and senior pastor at the Rock Church. And we'll take your calls. 1-877-TEL-HLN is the number. Alicia, I'll start with you. So we sift through those statements. Why'd she lose the job? Who should we believe here?
You know what? She has been in breach of contract, and Mr. Trump and the organization was kind enough to give her a second chance. And you know what? She did it again. She proved that she was not willing to abide by the contract that she signed prior to the pageant. So what else could they do? They had to pull the title. I mean, they absolutely did the right thing, and I'm very proud of them for doing that.
Okay, so she's reinstated. Since that time, what has happened? Hey, what events has she missed? Where has she not fulfilled her duties?
You know, numerous times she's been called upon to make appearances on behalf of the Miss California USA pageant, and for various reasons, she was not able to make them. I'm not sure if it's because she was doing appearances on her own or not. Cut to last week, she was in Las Vegas, my hometown, making official appearances for the Miss California USA pageant, and I received quite a few phone calls and emails from people that were appalled at the way she was speaking, just disparaging the pageant itself, the state pageant, her directors, and that's not something we want from a Miss California USA. You're not, again, not supposed to be polarizing. You're there to be a goodwill ambassador and be positive and project that image, and she couldn't even rise to the occasion at that point. So, you know, they really tried. They tried to work with her, and I think today it just came to a point where they just needed to cut their losses and move on, and they did.
Well, let's bring in Miles McPherson again, knows Carrie, knows the situation, her pastor at the Rock Church near San Diego. Pastor, what do you know about this? Has Carrie Fired, from what you know, fulfilled her duties? Or has she turned down obligations and wants to do her own thing?
Mike, those allegations are completely false. She's fulfilled the obligations, even the one in Las Vegas. The people spoke very highly of her. The pageant called the director of the program she went to before and after the event, and they spoke very highly of her. She's going to do the Special Olympics next week. So she's been fulfilling her obligations, and we're clueless to what they're talking about because she's been working very hard to do everything they've asked her to do.
Okay, so let me sift through the statement here from Carrie Fired's attorney. This is Charles Lamondre. And he says that this is what he writes. This is all kind of a big shock. We've been working with Mr. Trump's office. She's been doing all the speaking engagements she's been asked to do. It's not true that she has not been cooperating. Something's going on. The truth is not being told. I don't understand where this is coming from or why. And at the end of the statement, he says, no one said to Carrie, you're not doing what we want you to do. Alicia, what about that? So it sounds like you've got, I mean, was it to the point where these two sides just couldn't work together, and that's why we've got such a two-sided coin here?
You know, they tried when they had the meeting with Mr. Trump a few weeks ago. I think they really put forth an effort, and Carrie agreed to abide by the contract. Pageant director said, we are glad to have you back. We want a Miss California. We're here to have a young woman represent us. And once again, they just couldn't come to an agreement. She was off doing her own appearances and representing her own agendas, which is fine once she's given up the crown.
So you have
and then she
specifics
decided to write a book. She wanted to write a tell-all book, and I think that may have been the final straw. She wanted permission to be able to write whatever she wanted, and what I was told would have been somewhat disparaging toward Keith Lewis and Shayna Moakler and others involved with the pageant. And finally, the organization said, no, this is not going to happen. You represent us. This is not what we want out of a Miss California USA or any of our state representatives. It's supposed to be a good,
Miles,
positive
go ahead.
thing.
Miles, dive in.
Mike, a couple of things. One, Mr. Trump gave her the permission to write the book, and they were working on an agreement. She does not have a book contract as of yet, and she's been doing everything that she's been asked to do. Let's be serious. Ever since she gave the answer, they've been attacking her. Nothing has changed. It has been every single day. I was on a call with Keith Lewis and Shayna on April 19th. The next day, she had the nom ad, and they approved on that day. They knew she was doing it, and they knew everything she was doing. We've been in constant contact with them, and all they asked was that they know everything she does, and they've been aware of that. But yet they've constantly in the media every day since she's given that answer said she's not abiding by the contract, we can't get in touch with her, and all that's false.
All right, Marvette, do you see this as the Miss California USA pageant officials wanted Carrie out and were gunning for her?
Apparently there's a big issue with communication. You know, she has her side, they have their side. But regardless, they're claiming poor job performance, and I think in Carrie's mind, she never felt protected, and perhaps she lost the passion for really being an advocate for this pageant when she didn't feel they were advocates for her. So ultimately, I think this is the best thing that could have happened to her. Now she can really put her agenda in the forefront and not be concerned about the pageant. And, you know, while poor job performance is what they're citing as the issue, I think it was a much bigger issue than that.
All right.
Mike?
Miles, we're going to take a quick break, get some phone calls in. We'll continue this conversation. Miss California USA is out, we've got two different stories as to why. Pageant officials say she wasn't doing her job. Carrie Prejean's side says, yes, she was. We'll continue the conversation. Take your calls at 1-877-TEL-HLN.